Hello everyone, welcome back to the development log. Where have I been? Dealing with stuff at work, mostly. I haven't had much time to do work on this project, but I've been doing some work every day. Just an update today. We're gonna be going over some game mechanics, a little bit about the game story, and a couple of fun stuff that I have thought about it, and then we're gonna talk about Spirit Evolution. Try to keep it short this time because it's getting late, and I have work tomorrow. Yay, fun times. Anyways, let's start with battle mechanics. Just this is just the organization and some ideas that I've been putting together about how the battle mechanics will work. So I really like the 5 versus 5 spaces battle mechanic that they had in Digimon World for the DS. I think it was just underdeveloped. So here's my idea what to do. I want to be able to make better use of the positioning. Um, the whole arena, you have 5 spaces, and sometimes that didn't really matter. So now what I'm thinking is Digimons will have abilities, or yeah, abilities, and those abilities will proc depending on where you are. So that's gonna give you a little bit more tactics. Some Digimons are gonna be really good at fighting. It's gonna have increased attack. This is just an example of what I think some abilities may do, like Lone Wolf. If he has no one on the sides of him, like there's no adjacent Digimons, he increases his attack and his speed. So this Digimon can attack faster and more powerful um, as in the battle. That's good, right? And then if you wanna try to do a more defensive one, you might get a Digimon that has Defender. It takes 20% of the damage that the other two Digimons will have taken to himself and redirects it to himself and applies his own stats. So in that case, let's say Harrismon has 10 defense and this guy has 5 defense, right? But he will have the guy here in the middle will have 50 defense. So he will take 20% of the damage that they will have taken, and then will be reduced by his 50 defense, and then the damage calculation will apply to him. So that way you can keep like squishy but powerful characters protected. Things like that is what I want to do with the arena. And then another thing that bothered me on Digimon World Dawn is usually AoE attacks were just the best. The more areas you could attack, the best, because you could do more damage. And the problem with that is bigger Digimons will always take full damage on every single space, and I don't think that the power or the abilities were balanced correctly. Um, and they were not that interesting to use. So some AoE attacks will have different approach. For example, here you're gonna have an AoE attack. Let's say it's Mega Flame. It can attack 2 adjacent areas and it does 520 damage. This is just numbers that I came out of the top of my head, right? But it's gonna cost you 100 MP, and you only attacking one of the two Digimons in the arena and doing 520 damage for 100 MP. But if you were to use another single target attack that does 1,000 damage, you will be doing more damage with less MP. So to balance the AoE, I'm going to increase the MP cost of the AoE. Digimon World Dawn and Dusk did something similar, but I'm gonna try to tweak it as I go to make it more balanced. So that's one of the things. Another thing is I wanted to add tags that you can select. For example, a Ikakumon can shoot his harpoon Vulcan, and then you can select which spaces you want to attack, right? To have a predetermined set like this one on top, as an example right there, right? So that way you can have, and that type of attack that is a little more selective, of course, is gonna have to cost more MP. That way you have to be able to balance. Hey, I'm gonna be fighting a pretty strong single target Digimon. I want to be able to have some attacks that do single target or multiple enemies, blah blah blah, right? And then boss Digimons usually occupy more space. So yeah, AoE attacks might be more effective in that case, more cost effective. only in those boss battles, because you're gonna be able to attack three spaces and do 1560 damage versus just one single target strong attack that will do 1,000 damage, for example. And that's just a couple of things that I've been um, trying to write down for the battle mechanics. Um, you might be thinking that these videos make no sense. Why is he not just writing code and putting the sprites together and making things work? I do have the pretty simple prototype that I created, but I realized that I can just be throwing things to the wall and some of them will stick and some of them will not. So I need a little bit more organization. That's why I'm doing this huge rework on this Excel file. Just making sure that I have the things that I want to do written down so I don't have to just like, okay, what do I do next? Oh, I want to add this Digimon and blah, blah, blah. I have concrete plans for what I'm going to do. A good plan is what we need before we start. This is going to be a huge task. And then after I'm done doing this, I am gonna create a simple demo goal that I'm gonna try to do, and I'm gonna have 2 months. I'm gonna put myself a timer. 2 months. After those 2 months, if the demo is finished, I will continue with this project. And if after 2 months the demo is not finished, I will probably abandon the project. Why? Because that means that I'm not able to balance life, work, and this other project. I also want to be able to go out and play, and I have family matters that I need to attend to, so this is not gonna be taking my whole time. Again, like I say, I've been just very into work this week. I've been trying to catch up with that, and I haven't had much time to work onto this. So, so that's some of the game mechanics. I've been putting a list of other things that I might want to implement. Again, I don't like random encounters, but usually that's simpler to code because you don't have to be putting out the sprites for the enemies on the overworld area. Um, I want to make sure that maps and objectives are clear so people don't get lost because it's the biggest problem that we have with the all the Digimon games on the DS. Uh, and Here, that's another thing. Number 11. Players might be able to join the fight. So, going back to the idea that Digimons are your friends and you're on equal terms to them, uh, Digimerge or Biomerge, I guess, Matrix Evolution, allows you to join with your Digimon and join the fray. But I was like, well, why if you just want to fight side by side with them? So that's where Spirit Evolution comes into. We have Season 4 Digimon, and they use spirits and their Digivice. They can become spirit fighters. So basically, the player is going to be able to join the battle as a spirit Digimon and support the party. And they also going to have their champion level, ultimate level, mega level, and even the ultra level Digimon, which is going to be the ancient Digimons that the player is going to be able to transform into. And that is going to allow me to simplify the branch evolution because I don't have to be adding those Digimons here. So those Digimons are just going to be erased. As you can see, all the red stuff is going to be removed from the branch evolution area. And this is another thing that I need to go over to be able to um, rework too. So those are some of the game mechanics. You might be able to see some other ones here. I don't want to be going point by point, so you might want to pause the video to check that out. Whoever watches these videos. Let's continue with the log. Game story. Game story. So I don't have a concrete story plan. I'm still trying to organize things into where are they going to be in the map, and that's basically what I'm trying to make a plan around. Why are these kingdoms fighting? Why haven't they not resolved the problems? Is there people like betraying each other, kind of like in the human world? But these guys are Digimon. They fight each other, trying to become the strongest. So that's probably why they have kingdoms. But maybe there's someone behind the scenes trying to make them fight. so they control with the over the digital world. I'm gonna come up with a synopsis after I basically put out my ideas here, and and then I can put them all together. So for the story, I was like, hey, I really like games that have post main campaign or post game content. So I was like, why don't we just bring up some random people into the game? It's always fun to see some crossover. And then again, if I'm going to be making this game, I'm gonna put whatever the heck I want on it. So, yeah, this is what I came up with. This is my roster for special events. Most of them are gonna be after the roll credits. It's gonna be like the extra battles, kind of like trying to get the platinum uh, tamer rank on Digimon World Dawn and Dusk. So these guys are gonna be coming out, and the reason like explanation why they are in a digital world is just isekai. Isekai, they are here, so deal with it. So basically, hey, these random people appear in the digital rift, which is gonna be an area that I'm gonna have just for special events to make it easier to code, so I don't have to put people around the world and then blah blah blah. No, it's just gonna be uh, again trying to simplify things. This is a one-man job, and it's just gonna be a special area. You can go and you can challenge these people. Uh, Digituber Carney X is one of them. I'm gonna have a Porygon because Porygon is basically a Digimon in Pokemon. So you're gonna be able to get a Porygon through the game in a secret area. I still uh, eventually will figure out how or where I want to put him, and you're gonna be able to bring that Porygon with you. And even I'm gonna try to get it a custom mega level Porygon evolution that so he can be there until almost the end of the game. I don't know if I want to give him an ultra level. Well, we'll see. We'll figure it out as we go, right? But Porygon is basically gonna be the catalyst for this digital rift. He was a digital life form in the Pokemon area, creates a rift, gets into the digital world, and that brings everyone else. Youngster Joey from Digimon, Champion Red, Champion Silver. Why only these two guys? Because these are the two guys that I grew up with. Lang Hikari from Mega Man EXE, Geostellar from Mega Man Star Force. Why? Because they are technically going through the digital world in their own world, right? So they're gonna be brought here. Uh, Taichi, V-Termer Taichi, because I think it would be pretty cool to have the original Digidestin. Well, maybe he's not the original, but you know what I mean. V-Tamer Taichi was the first Taichi. There you go. And he is gonna be here, basically being a trial for us. He's gonna be one of the legendary tamers. And then these are the two Digitubers I might want to add. I'm not 100% sure because on the current EX that is always talking about Hyokomon, Warmon, Bluekomon, Fan, Behemoth, um, these other two Digitubers, I don't have a good gauge of what are their favorite Digimon, so I might just come up with my own team for them. Um, but they're gonna be here. And then again, this might be hard to code because there's gonna be very specific uh, teams, Digimon sprites. So this is probably gonna be all the way to the end because again, this is gonna be after. It's gonna be post game content, which means this is gonna be the last thing I will ever do for this game if I manage to finish it. So when I finish the game and release version, whatever the heck it is, I'm gonna start working on this after I'm done updating it until I'm satisfied with whatever I did. What other stuff is here? I say it's like, you know what? Screw it. Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Is amazing. Came out around the same time of the Pokemon and Digimon stuff in the 90s. I was like, you know what? It will be pretty fun to have the Pharaoh and Yugimoto to show up. Probably Kaiba too, depending, right? If I manage to do one of this, the other ones are gonna start to get a little bit easier to do. So these are just a couple ideas, and then I was like, you know what, screw it, even me. I'm gonna put myself into the game. I'm gonna create my own Digimons and just add them into the game, and yeah, we can add myself too. And so the idea is having some fun battles that you might want to add. That it's after the story because it doesn't make sense to be bringing all these people into the story, and just something to do after you finish the game, right? And then a couple of ideas for that, like okay, Carney X really likes rookie level Digimons that are not like super powerful. So if this is gonna be a post game content, they're gonna be alpha Digimons, and basically they're gonna have all the strength of an ultra level Digimon in a small package, and it's gonna be similar to the battle that you have in the for the Platinum Tamer rank against the uh, Imperial Dramon Paladin mode that has two baby Digimons that are also pretty cracked. So that is what's going to be happening there. Porygon, you're gonna have to obtain Porygon in order to unlock the digital rift. So if you don't get it through the game, you can get it after the game, and then that's gonna be the trigger for or the flag for the area for all the extra special events. And then Champion Red and Silver, they're gonna have their starters here, but also Pokemon has the legendary, so maybe they're gonna have teams of legendaries for a refight or second fight that you might want to do with that. And then Yugi also is gonna have um, special battles. And then if you beat Yugi, he's gonna basically go into Pharaoh, and the Pharaoh is gonna be having the Egyptian god goddess as Digimons basically. And if you think about it, um, the monsters from Yu-Gi-Oh are basically digital too. So we can use some BS excuse of why we have all these people showing up. Anyways, it's just something fun that I think will be pretty cool to add, but we'll be trying that into the future. And then this is just for me for organizing stuff. Maybe some extra Digimons that we have not seen. Navimon and Hina, I think will be pretty cool to have, like NPCs or something like that. Um, some music for later, and all that kind of stuff. So that's with the game mechanics. The story, I don't have the synopsis just yet. It's something that I'm being gonna be working on in the next couple of weeks, and the most important one is gonna be this weekend. Hopefully, if everything goes well, I might have a good um, list of all the stuff that I want to have into a demo, like movement, um, I don't know, Digimon following you around, some collision, the evolution. Yeah, that's not how you write the evolution. And some other stuff, right? And then you can just have your check marks. Yes, 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 I completed. And when that's completed, we can say we have a successful demo. Um, saves and all that kind of stuff. I'll just leave that there. So yeah, that's what I've been doing lately. I just been working on getting this up and running, so I can organize myself. I can have the full scope of the project uh, ready to go, and I can really say, hey, you know what? You should probably continue doing it, but it's gonna take you 3, 4 years, which is a pretty long time. Um, or you know what? This is too big. Let's stop right there and let's try to see if there's anyone else interesting, and we can share some ideas and be a support, maybe for another project. So as of today, we are continue working on this. We will continue updating as much as we can in the next couple of weeks, and hopefully we got something by the end of February, and that's gonna be my goal to releasing a demo for my idea. Thank you guys, whoever is watching this. Hopefully you have a really nice day, and thank you for watching and have a good day. Bye bye.